Hey there, welcome back to the channel, your number one resource for everything real estate and the best of Toronto living. Today I'm going to break down 5 things you have to consider when buying a condo. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time buyer, these are 5 essential steps to help you make the best decision for yourself and your future. With that, let's get started. First on the list is location. If you're buying for yourself, location even matters more because you've got to factor in your personal lifestyle and your preferences. Do you prefer a quieter suburban environment, or would you rather live in a hustle and bustle of downtown? We've got to factor in lots of things. Is it close to transit, your place of work maybe? Whether grocery stores are nearby, other amenities that you prefer. All these things need to be factored in. If you have a family with kids, we've also got to look at the best schools and make sure that you live within the boundaries that that school serves. There are lots of factors to consider. Now, as an investor, you've also got to consider these things because the end user, your desired tenant profile, whether it's a single professional or a couple or a family, you got to factor in whether that location is desirable for those tenants. So there are lots of conversations to be had with respect to location. It is the first and most important consideration. The second important consideration is the buildings and the management's reputation. Not all buildings are equal. It's really important to look into the developer's past record to see what other projects they developed. Have there been past complaints? This is where getting on the computer and doing some online research will be very helpful. Look for whether people have complained about this building. Have there been plumbing issues? Have there been structural problems? Are there elevator breakdowns occurring? There's so many things that might be happening that you may not be able to detect without doing some due diligence and doing some research. I also highly recommend talking to people within the building. Just hanging around the lobby and approaching fellow neighbors within the building is very helpful. Or knocking on doors beside the apartment that you're planning on purchasing and ask the neighbors, what do they think about the building? Do they recommend it? Are there any issues? These are questions that should be asked before you make your purchase. So it's really important to check the reputation of management and the builder. The third important consideration is maintenance fees. We've got to conduct a reasonability test when it comes to maintenance fees. And that is examine the dollar per square foot of the condo you're thinking of buying and compare that with similar condos in the area, in different buildings of similar age and similar square footage to see if this maintenance fee seems reasonable. And if it's much higher, why? Not all maintenance fees are equal. So that's another factor. We've got to see what the maintenance fees covers, what utilities are covered, what amenities are covered within that maintenance fee to see if it's reasonable. Fourth important consideration is your reserve fund. You've got to have your lawyer take a hard look at status certificate to ensure that there's a healthy enough reserve fund within the building, within the management of the building. This reserve fund is a portion of your maintenance fee set aside for any unexpected maintenance issues down the road. If that reserve fund is not healthy, you as an owner would be forced to pay and make up for whatever those expenses might be. So the reserve fund is a really important measure and gauge to see whether this building is managing its financial situation well. And if that reserve fund is too low, your lawyer would advise you not to buy in the building. Other things you'll find in the status certificate are whether there are any special assessments been done and any lawsuits pending against the building. And these are all things your lawyer would look at. The fifth important consideration is the layout of the condo itself. I always stress to my clients that you can make renovations, you can make upgrades within a unit, but one thing you can't change is the layout, the floor plan. Does the floor plan suit your personal requirements? And if you're an investor, would it suit your desired tenant profile? These are very important conversations and very important considerations. You've got to think like your tenant, or if it's for yourself, you've got to think about what matters most to you. Is the kitchen face the right way? Is there enough space? Where are you going to put your furniture? Where's the TV going to go? If you need a study, is there space for your desk? All these things are essentially dictated by the floor plan and layout of your unit. Of course, we also have to look at exposure. If you prefer a lot of sunlight, are you getting the right exposure? In terms of future developments, is there a building going to be built behind you? Would that building block your view? Again, layout is very important. So I invite you to consider that. I'm going to give you a bonus consideration, even though that wasn't the promise of the video, but here it is. Trust your gut. You're going to get a feeling when you walk into a building. And you don't need to know why or what. You don't always have to be logical about it. But if you get turned off, the building's not for you. I mean, or it could be the other way. You get turned on, you're really excited. Trust that instinct. It could be so many factors. I've noticed it could be smells. Maybe the smell of the building turns you off. Maybe it's the security guard. You find him very rude, or you might find him very polite. Maybe you find it very bright or too dim, or maybe you like the colors of the wallpapers, or maybe you don't. There's so many things that affect the way you feel within a building, within the condo. It's not just the apartment, it's a feel. And that's an important guide for your decision-making process. And there you have it. The top 5 things you need to consider when purchasing a condo. Everything from location to building's reputation, reserve fund, maintenance fees, and the unit layout, and my bonus, your gut instinct. We've covered it today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give a thumbs up below, subscribe for more content and more videos like this. In the comments below, let me know. Do you have questions about investing or ideas of future videos that I need to make for you? Please share below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.